Alright, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. So I want to cut my own hair. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Have I ever cut my hair before? No, I haven't. I have not ever cut my hair before. There was a time in high school where I did want to cut my hair, and I almost cut my hair. And when I say by cutting my hair, I mean I held a pair of scissors up in front of a mirror. And let me tell you, by God, that is the most hardest thing I have ever thought I could do. Like, it's like an art form in its own way to just even hold things in front of a mirror and to try and coordinate yourself. Your hand to mirror coordination. That's honestly a skill in its own right. And now here I am with my own kit trying to cut my own hair. Alright, right away, pros and cons. Pros and cons of cutting your own hair. Obviously, pro, you're saving a lot of money. Now, if you're a type of person who's really into keeping hair maintenance, then you're probably cutting your hair at least every month or every other month. Me, on the other hand, I never really cared too much about having a nice haircut, so I always got a haircut whenever my hair grew, well, this long. I would always cut it short and then wait till it gets to this length, which is about 3 to 4 months between haircuts. And if you think about it, depending on the type of haircut you get, it could cost anywhere from like $10 for a trim that's decent to like $20 or $30 and even upwards to $40 and beyond if you're having a really well done haircut. So in a year you can save over $100 by cutting your own hair. Con, well, I'm cutting my own hair. Another pro, well, I gained the skill of being able to cut my own hair. I gained the skill of the hand to mirror coordination. Con, I'm cutting my own hair. Perhaps the last pro I can think of, because we always have to give reasons in threes, I respect hairdressers more. Con, I'm freaking cutting my own hair. Oil blades before use? Oh, how do you even do that? I should probably see in case it needs to, like, sit. Oh, dog, look, it even shows you how to cut your own hair. That's kind of dope. I thought it would just teach you, like, maintenance or whatever. Holy heck, I don't know if you could see this, but look, they even have a clip so you can shave your eyebrows. That's like madness. What the heck? That's insane. Alright, so I've been watching a bunch of YouTube videos on how to do this. And essentially all you gotta do is take your razor and what you wanna do is start with a fade. You kind of go up and then you pull. But actually before that, I'm getting too ahead of myself. Alright, so I've been watching a bunch of YouTube videos on how to do this. And of course that does not immediately make you professional, it makes me a person who's trying to do this and will probably mess up. But essentially what you want to do is take your hair after you've soaked it a bit, and to be honest, it probably needs a little bit more water. Take your comb, find your hairline, decide you want to start. This hairline is essentially how you're going to do your hair. And me personally, I think I'm just going to do like a fringe, which if you guys are wondering, it's like an undercut all around, and you just cover the front of your forehead a little bit, or you just brush it off to the side like you see I'm doing right now. It's actually a more preferred one for people like me with larger foreheads. I think you guys can actually see the hairline I'm talking about. And now what we're going to do is our fade. Just gotta make sure everything else in the back is nice and down straight. Alright. Man, I look like a dork like this. Now, what I have is the wall self-cut clipper. And it's called that because it's a smaller form factor, so it's easier to hold in your hand. And to be honest, if I was smart, I would probably practice this more by just taking it and just going around and about as if I was shaving my hair. But of course, me being me, I'm impatient, and being impatient will probably curse me. And I'm not gonna lie, the reflection in my phone is kind of better than me trying to hand control my mirror because I got shaky hands. So let's do this. You know how your clippers come with several different sizes? You of course want to start with the largest, and my largest is, or rather, most preferably, you would start with like in a 4 or 5, even a 6. But just because I'm so new and rookie, and this is legitimately my first time doing this, I'm gonna just start with the 8. But you also have this lever, and this lever, you can see it pushing in and pushing out, and it's raising to how close it is to that razor that you see there. Oh god, it's kind of scary. But I need a haircut, and I really want to learn to do this. So the idea that I'm going with is just trusting myself, trusting my instinct. And you do want to go slow, just because you're a noob. And if you can help yourself, try not to talk. Surprisingly, so far I think it's going well. Alright, so 6 wasn't too terrible. I think I'm gonna go ahead down to, not a 7, but I'm okay with going to a 6. And I'll have it in the pushed up position, just to get it anyway. And okay. So now I'm gonna go to a 4. I know I'm skipping by 2. Go back outwards. And now I'm gonna start focusing on that fade. To do that, I'm going a little bit lower. And pulling out. The idea is to think of an imaginary line on your head. And get used to the feeling of where you're stopping. So you know where you want to pull out. So that said, I actually should be going around my head before I start the next level. Just because I have a line for everything that I do. And this is the part where it gets tricky. I'm going with my other hand. need to go for the other side. And same thing, find that hairline, throw it out. Throw out what I want to keep and what I want to lose. And those 6 will just take it out completely. I wonder if I could just do my right hand with it. And I think I can. Let's go on to that 6. Now to get a little bit more scary, we're gonna go from a 6 to a 4. Alright, now comes the most scariest part of all. 2. You are the determination line. You defined it. Alright. Now, the trickiest part is going down to 1, where you could draw the line all around your ear and have it shape out. And to be honest, I don't trust myself well enough to do something like that. Yeah, I don't. So I think I might just skip that and be like, it'll grow. It grows back eventually, you know? And you know what? Before I continue, let me just do one of these for myself. Okay, overall, for what I can do, that's my first time. I'm kind of satisfied with that. So next up, what I'm going to go for is shortening the top. And shortening the top's pretty dang easy. My hair got a little bit dry, so I'm just gonna soak it again. And just want to grab some pieces, lift it up, and do the cut. The question is, how long do I want it? The scissor is definitely the hardest part. I'm like trying to rotate forward, but instead I just rotate backwards. Alright, I'm back. So there you guys have it. I cut my hair, and in my opinion, it's actually not too bad. Granted, I didn't really do too much on the top, because I swear to God, that mirror to hand coordination is just, it's something else. It's really a talent in its own self. Alright, so overall thoughts. Surprisingly, doing the fade was a lot more easier than moving at the top, and I think it's because of that hand-to-mirror coordination like I talked about earlier. It's truly a talent in its own right, and I think it's because you're holding the scissors like this to clip right? The handle's like that, and it's just an awkward positioning when it's above your head and you're trying to figure out the right rotation to rotate forward, to rotate back, and again to place it in the right position, especially since the blades are blocking the front end of what's going on. So you don't know if the back blade is in position so that the two blades are meeting where the hair is. It's just a bunch of weirdness that's going on. But that said, doesn't mean my fade is perfect in any way, I think, because the fade is not that great if you look closely. In my opinion, there's definitely some not really, it's not really all that patchy, but there is definitely not a lot of, it's not the best that's going on, is what I'm trying to say. And I definitely didn't bother going less to shape out the edges of my hair because that was just way too scary for me. Definitely not gonna try that. But hey, overall, if you enjoyed the video, then do hit that like button, subscribe if you are new, not for more haircuts because that is not what I do here on this channel. I am a RPG maker, content creator, trying to make a horror game called Caster's Trap. So if you're very interested in horror game and game development, and I guess every now and then I do random stuff like this. So I guess subscribe for that if that's what you're interested. Otherwise, hit the like button if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in another one. Till then, later! Overall, this haircut, it took like an hour and a half to do. Mainly because my first time. But the worst part of all was the cleanup. The cleanup sucks!